right, it's the Thursday evening edition of Weather for Weather Geeks. What a pattern we have in front of us. Not a drop of rain in our forecast through at least 7 or 8 days from right now, but we'll find some interesting things to talk about. And with the pattern that is going to unfold over the next 7 days, it begs the question, are we done with winter? Are we done seeing accumulating snow? Of course, we haven't seen much. In fact, it's right now in second place on the list of least snowy seasons on record. 22.8 is where we stand at the airport. We, of course, will not add anything to this total in the coming days, but it's still only April the 6th, and as you know, it can snow around here deep into April, and we've even had accumulating snow in May a couple of times, or a few times in recent years. The average date, or the date of, I should say, of the average date, yes, of the last accumulating snow is April the 11th. That's the 30-year average, but of course, there's wide variance here. Last year it was on April 19th. We had a little less than an inch at the airport, but we had May the 9th 2 years in a row, 2021 and 2020. We had May 15th, pretty ridiculous, back in 2016 with 0.2. Now, when we look at the historical numbers, you can put some percentages on the chances of the remaining snow exceeding certain thresholds. So, based on the historical outcomes, the odds of seeing accumulating snow from tomorrow's date on out, about 63%, better than 50-50 odds. Now, the chance of seeing 1 inch or more worth of snow from now through the end of the season drops below 50%. And really, once you get up above 5 inches, your chances of exceeding that amount become pretty minuscule in a hurry. In fact, there's a 0% chance, based on historical averages, that we would see an additional 10 to 15 inches worth of snow for the season. So we're going to finish the season probably somewhere in the 20s, maybe even at the number we're at right now, but probably in the 20s for the seasonal total, and that is amazing. Our seasonal average at the Youngstown Warren Airport is about 67 or 68 inches. We're probably going to fall at least 40 inches shy of that this year. All right, last evening's severe weather certainly underperformed. We told you it would be a tricky forecast. We had one severe thunderstorm warning in our viewing area. That was in Columbiana County. Some gusty winds, but I haven't heard many reports of problems with any of the wind that came through right around 7:30 or so last evening. The severe weather risk this evening is near the nation's capital and heading down towards Norfolk and Virginia Beach. Now, the sky is trying to clear a little bit late today, but generally this mid and high level deck of clouds will be around through the night tonight. There's more holes in this deck than there were earlier on, and the clouds are not quite as low. It's not quite as gloomy as it was for a good chunk of the day today. But generally, we'll call it a mostly cloudy sky for tonight. One bit of continuing business, no surprise with recent rains. Eagle Creek in Trumbull County, flood warning is out. Latest observation at Phalanx Station, 10.57 feet. Flood stage begins at 9.5 feet. The crest occurring this evening, and then the creek should lower that water level as we go into Friday, and of course, no rain on the way. That will help things out. Middle 30s to kick off our Friday, so a little bit chillier than the last couple of mornings, but it's going to be a nicer day. While it'll be kind of a filtered sky, milky sky, if you will, a deck of high cirrus clouds making for kind of a milky sky at times, and it's going to be cool, but still not a bad day. Better looking than today, and no rain showers for our Friday. We'll blitz through the next few days because there's nothing going on. All the rains to our south with a stalled frontal boundary. It'll continue to be wet at times in Virginia, the Carolinas, Georgia, Friday into parts of the weekend with that front nearby and a northeasterly wind, even some snow in the mountainous areas. This is a cold air damming situation where the cold air gets drained down and banks up against the southern Appalachians, and they get stuck in the cold and damp weather. This will especially be the case on Saturday if you're a golf fan. Boy, the Masters looks ugly on Saturday in Augusta, Georgia. Our weather, though, perfect for the weekend. Chilly mornings, but great afternoons with lots and lots of sunshine. Speaking of sports, if you're a baseball person, of course, the Guardians and the Pirates both have their home openers tomorrow afternoon. First pitch about 4:10 in both locations. Now, a chilly northerly breeze means you got to bundle up if you're going to be in Cleveland for this. At Progressive Field, 43 degrees, 53 in Pittsburgh. Still cool, but there's not a big lake just north of Pittsburgh making things even cooler. So it'll be a little warmer in the Steel City, but definitely not shorts weather for the first home game of the season. Look at this pattern. This is the 8 to 14 day outlook. Warming up next week. It looks like we're in this pattern through at least the 18th to the 20th, so almost 2 weeks from right now. The pattern might start breaking down towards that period, right around the 20th. But we've got a pretty remarkable stretch ahead of us. I look back at the record books from now through the end of the week, of next week, I should say, there's a pretty good chance that we'll have the longest stretch of dry weather that we've had since at least late September, early October of 2022, and maybe even beyond that if we do string together more than 9 or 10 dry days in a row. It'll be kind of nice here in the weather department. We've had a couple of busy Saturdays. We've had a few bouts of early season severe weather. It'll be kind of nice to take a little bit of a break from all that activity over the next week or so. We're going to skip Weather Geeks on Friday. I will see you back here on Monday. Have a great rest of your Thursday, everyone.